Former employees of a Fargo construction company are uniting. It's part of the developing story we first brought to you after Studs to Rugs closed its doors, leaving employees and customers picking up the pieces. With no word from the company owner, those impacted are finding other ways to move on. Valley News Team's Molly Casey has our story.
We just got a text message saying be at the shop by 4:30. We're going to have a major schedule change. But then all of a sudden we just walked in and we're just done.
Michael Bruns Jr. had been working with Studs to Rugs for 10 months, but last Wednesday, that ended.
I was devastated, and I'm just a normal guy just trying to make a living and pay my everyday bills, and I'm making just enough to do that.
But Bruns hasn't given up. He's now starting his own business, Prism Painting and Remodeling.
They got all the decals getting made up for my truck, having another company print me up all the estimate sheets, and I've lined up 9 jobs in 4 days.
And Bruns knows the sudden closure has left homeowners with uncompleted work.
I would definitely be willing to go over and help out and give them a discounted price.
Homeowners like Kirsten Nelson.
How much have you paid out?
$60,000.
What does and doesn't work at this point?
I mean, we just kind of assume that nothing works in here besides the lights.
Nelson and her husband started their kitchen remodel a month ago, but have little to show for the tens of thousands of dollars they've already invested.
We don't have any insulation in the walls, so the weather forecast this week has us a little nervous.
Despite not knowing how they'll pay for the rest of the reno, it's kindness from those like Bruns that's keeping the family going.
You know, my 10-year-old said, it's amazing how one person doing the worst brings out the best in everybody else.
From Fargo, Molly Casey, Valley News Live.
And Bruns isn't the only one offering to help out. After our story ran yesterday on the Bowden family, Fargo-based luxury design and builders reached out to Valley News Live, offering to donate their services to help the family finish their kitchen, insulation, siding, among other issues left unfinished by Studs to Rugs. And that story came to us through our whistleblower hotline. So if you need help uncovering fraud and corruption in your community, call us at 701-237-6576 and then leave your tip. A member of our investigative team will get on the case and go to work to expose the truth. But turning now to weather, Robert, we've been following storm team updates all day with the calm before the storm. What can we expect for tonight?
Yeah, not too bad tonight. We will have some breezy conditions developing later on tonight into tomorrow morning, but all in all, tomorrow is looking pretty nice. A live look outside on the CorwinAuto.com Valley Skycam, part of the Storm Team Skycam network, looking off towards the northwest Fargo Hector. Right there in the distance. Current temperature, we're down to around 43 degrees, a bit of cloudiness out there. A light wind right now, that light wind giving us a wind chill of 40 degrees. Temperatures elsewhere, a mix of some 30s and some 40s, 48 in Devil's Lake, 46 Cavalier. Cooler off towards the east, 38 Bemidji, 39 Badet-and-Wadena, 37 down in Fergus Falls. Winds, they're light right now, but as a weak little system dives south out of Canada, on the backside of that, we're going to have some strong and gusty winds for a while behind that, primarily out of the northwest and gusting over 30 miles per hour at times into tomorrow morning, and then that should slowly subside. A little bit of shower activity showing up in parts of northern Minnesota. Some of that's not reaching the ground, some of it is. A few sprinkles possible there as we head through the overnight. Elsewhere, the northern plains quiet, and outside of that activity, the western 2/3 of the U.S. quiet. Cold front off towards the east. Most of that has gone offshore, but still a few showers and thunderstorms in the northeastern U.S. For us, we've got that bit of cloudiness, a little bit of rain also possible as we head towards tomorrow morning. And watch the winds as we head towards tomorrow morning on the backside of this system. They're going to be gusty for a while, and then as we head through the day tomorrow, we'll start off with a bit of a breeze, but as we head through the day, those winds will slowly start to subside and shift around to the west and the southwest. Highs tomorrow in the 40s where the clouds hang up, 50s and 60s elsewhere across the region. A bit more cloudiness ahead of that system on Thursday, late in the day. Speaking of that system on Thursday, here we go. As we head through the day, rain changes over to snow, strong and gusty winds. Some of those wind gusts over 50 miles per hour. Could see blizzard conditions in a few locations. And travel is going to become very difficult late Thursday night and early Friday morning. Winter storm watch has been issued for much of the area, and this is still evolving, so we'll have to keep it tuned to the latest forecast off towards the west. That is a high wind watch. Could see winds of 50 to 60 miles per hour there as well. Here in Fargo tomorrow, though, pretty nice after a breezy morning. Low 40s in the morning, low 50s by lunch, and later on in the day, we're going to top it on out into the lower 60s. Picture of the day, and it's a gorgeous one. A sunlit fall colors, Valley City. Thanks so much to Cassandra for sending that in. Going to use that at the backdrop to our 7-day forecast. Nice on Wednesday, and it's going to be yucky on Thursday. Again, travel will become difficult in many locations later Thursday and on into Friday, but improving conditions over the weekend.
Is it too early to ask drivers to prepare their winter travel kits with their scrapers?
No, it's never too early, especially with overnight lows dipping down well into the 20s. Yeah, you're going to want to be prepared for not only the snow, the ice, but also make sure the antifreeze is in good shape.
Absolutely. Thank you, Robert. A city council member is blowing the whistle on what he says is a broken city contract and misappropriated tax dollars. Crookston Council member Bobby Baird says the Chamber of Commerce is taking 20% of lodging taxes, even though the city only approved them for 15%. So he asked the director, Amanda Lean, if she thought she was in the wrong for increasing the budget from taxpayers without city approval. But she dodged the question. Now, if you want to see the story, head over to valleynewslive.com and click on this story. A Wahpeton man has been sentenced to more than 8 years in prison after a 2016 shooting that left a man with permanent injuries. Matthew Allard was sentenced today in Wilkin County Court. He was convicted of 3 felonies: first-degree assault, terroristic threats, and discharge of a dangerous weapon. An attempted murder charge against Allard was dismissed, and he was acquitted of a murder charge back in September. He was first arrested in a shooting in Breckenridge that left his victim, Isaac Herrera, with what an attorney called permanent bodily injuries. He will be serving his sentence at the St. Cloud Correctional Facility. Police in West Fargo are asking for your help identifying a man they believe is involved in an ongoing investigation. If you have any information about this man, you're asked to contact police on their tip line. That number is 701-433-5333. Please add any information would be greatly appreciated. A North Dakota man is in custody after setting fire to a crucifix at a church before leading police on a high-speed chase on a motorcycle. 39-year-old Michael Scaruch of Lidgerwood was arrested after crashing in a wildlife preserve. It ended a chase at top speeds of over 85 miles an hour. Scaruch threatened a person at a church with a knife before starting a crucifix on fire. Scaruch has been sent to the state hospital for mental health treatment. He had been released from the state hospital days before after threatening people with a sword and then barricading himself in a home. He's facing a total of 9 charges, 4 of which are felonies. And the Fargo Police Department is notifying the public about a sex offender living in the area. They say John Bussert is living at 401 9th Street South. Bussert is considered a high-risk offender after being convicted of luring a minor by computer in 2013. Police say he requested nude photos of a 13-year-old girl and then asked her to engage in sexual acts through Facebook. Bussert is a lifetime sex offender registrant. And it was a scary moment for NDSU student Olivia Hammerschmidt. She woke up to the sound of an explosion, and it turned out to be her laptop. She isn't the first person to experience the same scenario. Keith Breckheimer had an electric razor that exploded in the middle of the night. Both devices have lithium-ion batteries. They're now urging others to be cautious when they're using those devices that have those types of batteries.
If you're plugging anything in, cell phone, laptop, anything with a battery, whether it's lithium-ion or not, keep an eye on it.
If you find yourself in this situation, fire officials encourage you to call 911. NFL players protesting the national anthem have left some fans choosing to turn off the TV. But more recently, one player is having the exact opposite effect. It takes a simple Google search to find top headlines after last night's Eagles game. Everybody believes in Carson Wentz now, rising star and MVP. It seems as though everyone now across the country is recognizing the North Dakota native. I spoke with some shoppers browsing around the Wentz section of Scheels to see if their thoughts mirror those headlines. Okay, are you guys Wentz fans?
Oh, yeah.
And how about that game last night?
That was an awesome game.
He was on fire.
At 6'5", how do you do that?
I don't know.
4 touchdowns.
I was kind of scared there at the beginning.
Whoop-de-doo, get out of the pocket.
And something happened to the recorder, and I missed it.
It was crazy.
Sandwiched between the Vikings and Broncos section of Scheels reveals a glimmer of green and black. The number 11 hangs with a famous last name, Wentz.
First, everybody was all Vikings because it was the closest team to North Dakota. It's just phenomenal to see that he's gone from a small town guy to one of the top players in the NFL.
This is the kind of person I would like to see watch play football.
And given the recent anthem protests, some from North Dakota choose to watch because of Wentz.
Some of the other folks that don't choose to stand up for the national anthem and so on, I don't care to watch them. But he's a special person.
It makes you want to watch the NFL.
Yes, it does. Watch Carson Wentz.
Are you already thinking ahead to Super Bowl?
Yeah, why not? Go big or go home, right?
By the way, Carson Wentz jersey is one of the top sellers on NFL shopping sites like Fanatics and NFLshop.com. Also, if you'd like to watch the Dutch Destroyer video that was posted by ESPN, we've attached that to this story at valleynewslive.com. A huge disaster relief package that aims to help victims of hurricanes and wildfires is headed to President Trump's desk. That story is next.